Okay, we also have Wipro's numbers trickling in. Right now, what we're picking up from agencies is a consolidated PAT figure that has come in at 2,390 crores. It's about 2 to 50 crores higher than what we had estimated. Our poll was indicated to a figure of 2,100 crores. But this is a headline number we're picking up from agencies. Okay, I have the actual number as well. It's 2,411 crores versus 2,402 crores. So it's largely a flattish growth that we're witnessing on the bottom line. Revenue has come in at 14,913 crores. What our poll was indicating was 14,610. So it's actually better than estimated a tad bit, but I would say no negative surprises there. Hopefully nothing shocking would come in the operating performance as well, which we are likely to flash on your screens. Right now we just have the revenue and profit figure, which has come in at 14,913 for the top line, and for the bottom line it's come in at 2,400 crores. Okay. Let's quickly move on then from Wipro on to some more stories. Okay. I think we were staying with Wipro for now. The numbers are still trickling in. Madhu Babu joins us with their first cut reactions as well. Madhu, hi. Thank you so much for taking time out. I have the top and bottom line performance for Wipro. Revenue 14,922 and PAT has come in at 2,411 crores. These are the consolidated numbers that I have so far. What is your sense? Is it largely in line?
There appears to be a beat at the PAT level. So a fairly decent beat at the PAT, and even revenue looks decent in the context of our estimates. So overall, I think appears to be a decent result. Because we are looking at 2,150 crores. So I think 2,400, the PAT is above our estimates. But having said that, I think you have to see it in the context, because this result will anyways not be a key factor, because the company now has a new CEO who has just taken over a few days ago. So the next 1 year will be, Street will be watching around the turnaround potential under him. And obviously Wipro has a very strong cash on the balance sheet, around 27,000 crore. And we are expecting a buyback announcement in the next 2 months, after 2 months. So those are the triggers for the stock.
Okay, I have some more numbers coming in, Madhu. Let me just quickly highlight them to you as well. IT services segment revenue has come in at $1,921.6 million. It's decreased 5.7% YOY. IT services margins have come in at 19%, which is an expansion according to the company of 0.6%. Operating cash flow also looks fairly okay. What is your sense on the IT services segment performance? Is it something you were factoring in already?
Yeah, I was exactly looking at 7.5% decline, so it came in line. But margins in the IT services was a positive surprise. So we were looking like a kind of 100 basis points kind of drop. I think they actually expanded the margins by only 50 basis. So 19% EBIT margin in IT services, that is a positive surprise.
Urmil Shah is also with us. Let me take it across to him. Hi Urmil, thank you for joining us. If you look at the operational improvement that they have seen, and of course they also had a benefit of rupee depreciation in the quarter gone by. Going forward, how do you see the margin profile for Wipro, and if you could also give us your sense on how you think they perform this time around?
Yeah, so versus our forecast, in fact, they have performed much better. We were, in fact, penciling in IT services revenue to decline by 8% in CC terms and 8.4% in dollar terms. And also the margin performance has come in better. Now, as regards going forward, it will clearly depend upon their commentary on specific verticals, especially BFS, consumer products, as well as ENU. What is the outlook for second quarter and then the second half, where you will also have the impact of furloughs. And also, for keeping in mind all this, we also would want to, while it would be difficult for Terry to share any strategic refresh right now, but his commentary on how does he see the industry at least shaping up this year and next year, and also, the timeline of the strategic refresh which he will bring in, that also will need to be seen. So, to sum up, if the second quarter isn't expected to have more than 3% plus kind of decline on a QOQ basis, then I believe that margins should remain stable or even improve going forward.
And what do you make of the management commentary, Urmil? Yesterday, of course, they held an AGM. Today also, if I read the quotes given by Thierry Delaporte and even Jatin Dalal, who's the CFO, both of them are very confident about delivering strong growth over the long term. Even Jatin Dalal said that this time, despite low revenues, they did see on back of solid execution several operational improvements and rupee depreciation. But more important is that he's also saying that they're likely to see sustained robust cash generation and sustained growth. So how convincing and how heartening is the commentary according to you?
We will have to wait for Wipro to back execution to this commentary. They have done relatively much better as regards cash conversion, followed by EBIT margin performance. Where in the past, their delivery has not been up to the mark, has been predominantly the growth in IT services. So while the comments are positive, but we would want them to execute on this front to believe that, the growth revival engine has now started for them.
Okay, Madhu, coming back to you, what is it that you will be sort of watching out for in the fine print of their numbers? Anything that strikes out to you or stands out for you?
I've gone through it a bit. I think numbers are more or less fine. I mean, even in terms of vertical cut as well. So, I mean, in the context of the expectation, even TCS declined by 7%. So, Wipro, which was typically a bit laggard, I think 7.5% decline was fairly a decent performance. So broadly on the vertical front, I think there was a higher decline in communication vertical and consumer business unit. Obviously consumer business, because travel and hospitality falls there the decline has been higher. But otherwise, I think overall in the context of the economy environment and the transition which was going on in the last quarter where the one outgoing CEO was there. So in the whole context of the things, I think the performance was fairly stable. And especially you have to see in the context of the valuations. I think Wipro's valuations are relatively more cheaper. I mean, around 13.5 times FY22 and with a sizable cash position on the balance sheet. So in that context, I think numbers look fine, and it appears they have not given any guidance for 2Q. As it is, because even last quarter they have stopped giving the guidance because of the COVID. So I think more after the commentary and the con call we will be able to update.
Okay. What about the key fundamentals for the company? Is it poised to sort of deliver this kind of sustained growth given the pricing pressures, levers for margin, cut in variable pay? All of this is likely to help them sustain this trajectory?
So I think now it will be again under the new leadership. So obviously the next 9 months would be watched out in that sense. What are the levers in terms of cost cutting or the other growth areas which they would focus. But I think now everybody is in the same environment, right? So the macro concern will be there for the across sector. How the bottom up, how the new CEO will take the direction for the company, that is one thing which everybody will be watching, because if at all a turnaround happens, there can be a disproportionate re-rating in the stock, because this is a cheaper PE stock. So if you get a good performance, obviously there's a headroom for PE re-rating.
Urmil, just one quick comment from you before we let you go. Which are some verticals that you will be betting on as key drivers for Wipro from here on?
So clearly, BFS remains a very important vertical. Though they have a higher presence in capital markets. Also, I believe that the consumer business unit is also meaningful. Over there, Madhu mentioned about travel and hospitality. Also, the retail part needs to stabilize, which might happen towards the end of this year. And last but not the least, healthcare business unit in the past has been volatile. So I believe that these are the few verticals which needs to do much better for the growth to revive for the company.
All right, guys. Madhu as well as Urmil, thank you so much for joining us and for helping us understand and decode the numbers of Wipro and help our viewers out as well. Let's see how the stock reacts to these numbers. Right now, we're looking at a revenue which is in line and margins which have been above estimates.